Yo, today I have a small issue to discuss, I guess. I understand that this game is not yet finished, but I would like to see some quality of life stuff put into the game. And I'm fairly certain that Tempo has their own list of things to add, but maybe I have found something that they not yet noticed. So I'm going to provide some feedback, and if there's something new that I have put out, then, you may add that to the bottom of the list. And also, my dear viewers, if you have something to add that I have not thought of, then you know where the comments are. So let's start. First of all, I would like to talk about something that I would like to see in terms of the collection. Something that is really obvious is I would like to see some sort of sorting, mainly by date of acquisition or series number. As you can see, there are a lot of items in my collection, and I would like to know which I got first, and also I would like to know what series numbers I have. But this is only a part of it, because I definitely would like to have some filters. Well, filter out items that I'm looking for. I would like to filter by tiers, but also by series number. In terms of hero skins, I would like to filter by, well, hero. So I would like to see all my Pygmalion skins, or my Vanessa skins. And also, something really obvious, filter by name. Additionally, as you can see, there's a scroll wheel at the side, and one would think that if you were to click on it and then drag your mouse, it would actually scroll the collection, And it doesn't. It's almost infuriating, Really, please change that. Additionally, one thing I would like to have is choosing your portrait border. Whenever you advance in ranked, from bronze to silver, you get a silver border. When you advance from silver to gold, you get a gold border, up to legend rank. Well, I do have legend rank, but I think that diamond border looks a bit better. I prefer it. So I would like to have an option to choose that border. Maybe in the main menu on the side. And also, in the long run, Tempo could add other portrait borders not necessarily tied to your rank for you to, show off. And one last thing I would like to talk about in terms of collection is the legendary drop rate. People from Reddit established that drop rate for legendary items is 0.24%. That's 1/4%. I guess legendary items are supposed to be rare, and I have opened about 250 chests right now. I understand that's not a lot. I don't only play the Bazaar, but I have calculated that there was about 45% chance for me to get one legendary out of those 250 chests. I suppose those are not bad odds. But at the same time, I've been playing at least 100 hours, probably even more. And I would like to have at least one legendary. And I understand that's wishful thinking. And, Tempo doesn't really owe me anything. But maybe some sort of pity timer or chance increase could be implemented, you know what pity timer is, but like chance increase could be, let's say, for every chest opened, your legendary drop rate percent chance could increase slightly until you open that actual legendary. Think about it, sleep on it. Maybe you could implement something like that. But okay, let's move on. There are a couple of things that I would like to improve in the recap screen. First of all, you do not know who is the winner of the fight simply from looking at the recap screen. Instead of watching a replay to see who actually won, maybe some sort of indicator who won would be nice. But also, a minor statistic that would be nice to have is fight time. It would be fun to see how long you were actually battling it out. Additionally, when I was writing this list, it was before the latest patch, and I was actually really craving additional stats on enchanted items. So for example, if your item had a heavy, I wanted to see how much slow did it provide during that fight. And thankfully, in the latest patch, it was actually provided. This thing has been done. So thank you, Reynard, thank you, Tempo. But we can go one step further and add those statistics to skills. So if a skill provides, let's say, freeze, slow, or maybe some damage increase on your items, those things probably should be specified when you hover over the skill icon. Moving on to the next thing, the finish screen issue has been in the game from the very beginning, and I'm 100% sure you know that it is there, but seriously, please fix the overlapping items issue. This is not only something minor that you have to fix down the line. Like, if that would be fixed, sharing screenshots when you finished your run and, sharing the screenshots with your friends or on the internet, on Reddit, whatever, that would help promote the game somehow. In the sense that when the screenshots actually look nice, you want to share them. I had countless builds that I thought were insanely cool, but the items overlapped and it looked terrible. So please fix that. It's not a minor issue in my eyes. Going on to the next thing, the concede button would definitely like to have a confirmation tick box or additional button that you have to click, because for some reason I constantly think that the button on the bottom of the list is going to allow me to go back into the menu. And it doesn't. It's just concede button. And it doesn't ask you if you actually want to concede. It just, yes, bye. And that's it. I've read at least a couple of reports on Reddit that people do the exact same thing. They, open the pause screen and just click the bottom option because they think it's exit to main menu. And it isn't. So concede confirmation would go a long way. And in the same manner, when the game goes out of focus, so let's say you do something on your second screen and then you want to come back into the game, please skip first click when you click back on the game. Because you have to be sure that you are not clicking on anything that is a button, because it will go through. One last thing that I would like to see in the settings is some sort of tick box that would skip intro on game launch. I do not really need to see your trailer for the nth time when I open the game. Yeah, it's great. I really love it. But I do not need to see it every time. One last group of things that I would like to see in the game, and some of them I think might be already implemented in the game, but I do not have any concrete evidence to support that. Let me explain. I mentioned in one of the Under the Surface videos that I would like for merchants to not repeat. Once you see one of the merchants, let's say Mittel, you shouldn't see her in the next hour or in the next couple of hours. You should be provided with the option to go to some other merchant, to not repeat merchant encounters. And to be fair, I think it might have been implemented because from what I have been experiencing when playing the game, merchants do not tend to repeat themselves. But if not, I'm renewing my proposition, but I think it's already happened. And also another thing that already happened is Gambles allows for buying 5 gambles at a time. I like that, but we can expect a rework for that particular event in the future. Something that Reynard has talked about is selling reward items immediately. When you win a fight and you get an item from a monster, you have to first put it on your board or in your stash before you can sell it. And maybe selling that item immediately, if you do not want it, should be an option. But at the same time, I sort of understand why you should first collect it. That's something to think about, maybe try out in one of the patches or whatever, and see how that influences the game. Another thing that people on Reddit complain about is selling the items when they try to upgrade them at Forja or when you try to enchant them. I didn't have that problem in the past, but people seem to drag the item upwards and, just drop it wherever. So sometimes they sell it. So maybe some sort of sell protection should be implemented for those careless people. But at the same time, I'm not part of this group of people who sell their item when they try to enchant them. I do not need that change, but I understand that some people are too hasty. And one last thing, it's related to stash and your board. You see, when you drag an item and you want to, rearrange your items on your board, sometimes your items perform wild tricks. And I was thinking maybe some sort of visual indicator, maybe they should immediately move to account for where you are hovering your item. And if you do not have any space on your board at that point. Maybe the items that you are hovering over should move dynamically to your stash, and then if you move your item in the different place, those items should move back into your board, and that other item that you are now hovering over should move into your stash. I understand that's a lot of work in terms of technical implementation of that. This would be pretty advanced, but at the same time you could make like an arrow that would say that those items will move to the right, those items will move to the left. Something like that would alleviate some of the frustrations when arranging your board. And yeah, that's basically it. If you have anything to add to my list, as I said, you know where the comments are. You may also subscribe, and there's also a like button. You may use those buttons. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. So, bye!